Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. Today we have a very special championship edition of Take 10. I got Constantine, also known as Pringles Man 123 on the Discords. He went, saw, conquered Buffalo with a very cool Mikasa 4 Ackerman list. I guess Mikasa, Ackerman, Hizru's Hope, or Mikasa 4. So thanks for joining me today, Constantine. Well,
Yeah, for
I guess,
sure.
how are you doing after your monumental win?
So it's it's still crazy to say out loud that I won a regional,
Okay.
but yeah, it's just been great. And truthfully, what I've really been focused on is I guess this is just like a ad if this video comes out before ours, but I recorded a bunch of clips with people at Buffalo
Okay.
of their favorite UniVersus memory for 2025.
Okay.
And it's like this really sappy video, and I cannot wait for it to be out. And
Okay.
that's really what's been like in my headspace for right
Okay.
now.
Awesome. Awesome. Cuz like
Yeah.
that's something that's really funny with like UVS in general is like me as an old head, like we always talk about the before MHA times and all that, and that's like
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of sentimental people in the community, and I think that's why
Oh yeah.
the community is close knit, as it is because we're so sentimental about the game and we have all these really great moments that we experience together as a group and we share it, like a big family in a way. So that's
100%.
so that's kind of cool. Like I don't know about I'm not well versed into other card games, so and I don't know if they have like that tight knit. I'm pretty sure there's pockets of people like play groups or cliques for lack of a better term. They all share the same experiences together, so they're get close knit, like that. But it's
Hmm.
kind of weird seeing this fruition of universal fighting system and then growing into universes is that there's still that tight knit like competitive group that still shares like in everyone's victories, right? Like I saw the video when you raised your hands in victory, which was very awesome because I don't you don't really get to see that very often. Someone like, popping off like that as a win, and everyone, the trading post guys came over, MGLA came over, just people coming over and congratulating you. And it's really cool to see that, the after effect of a win instead of just cutting to the commentators right away. It's really cool to see how the community like galvanizes behind their champion of that event just because everyone's so happy for that person to win. Granted, we all want to win the event, but not everyone can
Yeah.
win every event unless you're Kevin Broberg or Tim Keefe. So um, but yeah, it was like really cool to see. Well, we'll kind of get into it with like your background in the game and that. Like you've become a tournament grinder for the lack of a better term. Like you go to the regionals, you're at the forefront of some content creation. You're in the community, and I guess we just get what's like your history with UVS. Like how did you get into the game before you became a competitive player, content creator, then to a champion? How did you start with the game?
So really simple beginnings. I'm a slave to the things that I like.
Okay.
My friend and local Shad said, "Hey man, you want to play this My Hero card game?" Back in like I think it was the end of 2021. I think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he showed me he had the Bakugo and Deku starter decks, and I'm like, I'm in. And that's basically where it started. We played without any resources, so we
Okay.
tried to figure out how to play UVS off the rule book, and it
Oh.
took like an hour to play the
Oh
game.
boy.
Yeah.
That's
I
hilarious.
thought passing the torch was broken. I was like, you dump your whole hand and send a 14 damage move at me and draw two cards anyway?
Yeah.
How the hell am I supposed to win?
That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
Go ahead. Continue.
oh yeah, and just initially I thought that I was gonna I spent a lot of time with Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic before
Okay.
UVS,
Okay.
and I told myself that UVS was gonna be like um an offline game where I basically just enjoyed the game with only the cards in front of me and like what I get my hands on.
Sure.
That quickly, like I watched some Shane Duckworth deck profiles
Yeah.
and then hopped into Discord, and that quickly changed.
Sure.
I was just anything UniVersus I could get my hands on.
Okay.
I was listening to it, I was reading it, and just kind of fell in love with the game from that point on.
Awesome. Like it's kind of cool. Like it is kind of it's kind of I don't know. Like I've talked to a few people who are like this. They came for like an IP and then fell in love with the game, right? Like you're
Mhm.
what we want. You're the type of player that you came for My Hero and you fell in love with the mechanics and you just had a lot of blasts and you just have started absorbing it and just going head first. And I think that's something that says to the game itself to where it's very unique and it's just like it's just so rewarding and enriching when you take that next step, right? Like you become tabletop
Oh,
player to
100%.
an LGS player to a regional player to a to a worlds player to champion, a champion. And
Yeah.
so from going playing with the Bakugo Midoriya starter deck, and I assume you went to an LGS and you started playing
Yes.
there, and then what kind of steps or what made you become a competitive travel player is what I like to call us, who'd like to travel for the game. What steps did you take, and when did you realize that you wanted more of a competitive mindset in the game?
So I guess it's kind of coming back from my prior experience with card
Hmm.
games because like when I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I traveled the regionals for that,
Okay.
uh, larger events for that game, and I just if I'm playing a card game, it's just kind of something I do. Like
Mm,
I'm typically going to travel for events for it,
sure.
uh, and then the first one that I went to for UniVersus, I think was the Rochester Clash at the Castle. Uh, PSC, I think was the acronym. It was
Okay.
like the smaller My Hero events.
Okay.
Um, and it it was a mix of I wanted to play in a larger UniVersus tournament because our locals were usually at most like 3 rounds.
Okay.
And the other thing was that I at that point I think that event was in fall of 2022. At that
Hmm.
point, I had been just yapping with a ton of people in Discord,
Okay.
and I wanted to start actually meeting people. I wanted to put a face to the name Pringles Man.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, it was two motivating things of like I just wanted to play more Universus, and I wanted to meet the people that I had already considered my friends, just chatting with them
Yeah.
online.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like the one thing I'd like to try to do when I go to an like I didn't travel that much this year, but like when I do go to events, I do like to are you on Discord? What's your name? Like put a face
Yes,
to the
yeah,
name
yeah.
because we're hidden behind these profile pictures for the lack of a better term, right? Like I don't
Mhm.
look like Emma Frost on my profile picture, right? Like um
Yeah,
but like and it's just kind of nice to get your face out there, and even if like you're not a content creator or a named player in our game like a Broberg or Keith yourself or even like Tam, it's good to get to know people. It's nice to spread your network of friends, for lack of a better term, right? Like it's
yeah,
never a bad thing to have more friends in your life, and it's just nice to get that camaraderie because sometimes you like me, I like going outside my play group and my team for deck ideas, or like you get to get another resource, right, to become better at the game, and then when I become better at the game, you better at the game, and then the game's just even better when we all just kind of rise together in a way. So,
oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, all right, so you travel to these regionals and these events, and then the last the last regional of the year, we're going to kind of lead into Buffalo a little bit because this will be the bulk of the interview is Buffalo, obviously.
Mhm.
What was so the lead up? What was the take? What was your take on the meta? Was it because I think we had just had Bands and Erratas to Nine Titans, Daggers, and I believe I'm really bad at remembering Bands and Erratas because usually I just sweep them out of my brain after they
Yeah.
happen. So those are the two big ones, right? Nine Titans
And
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 Sweeping Daggers.
teaming,
And what?
teaming the Attack
Oh,
Titan.
and Teaming the Attack Titan. Oh yeah, yeah. Fuck that card. That one is
Yeah,
that one is also gone. So it's three huge, like not. I would say meta pillars at the time, because you
Mhm.
had the Hanj, you had the Porco, you had Devil Jin abusing the shit out of it. But like, what was your take on the meta after these post bans leading into Buffalo?
So I I would say that I was largely thinking of just individual broken cards where I'm like, oh, these are ways to win the game.
Mhm.
So it's obviously it's equipment heist
Yeah.
and massive meter machine. Um, for the backup decks, unyielding and rock barrage
Mm,
is that can just kill anybody if you're not prepared for it.
correct.
Yeah, you like Titan piles out the way people are going, but
Yeah.
there's definitely other attacks you can find in the game to
Mhm.
kill someone with two resources ready.
Yeah.
Uh, I think there's also like the spread of control decks that we have where it's like Rodin and Deku sort of like fill that role,
Mhm.
um, and then um, I still don't know how many people believe in Mikasa after this event, but like since about August
Yeah.
from some local games with her, I was like, this character is so broken. Like
Yeah.
like I I so I definitely play some bad decks at locals, but
Sure.
like usually blocking 4 times is probably gonna keep you alive, probably.
Yeah.
And then I'd always died in the Mikasa deck even through that, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
dude, like holy crap, like what
Yeah.
am I supposed to do about this? Um, and so like uh, there was definitely like the standout archetypes that I previously said, but um, at least for me and some of the community, there was like some acknowledgement of Mikasa being a really powerful deck,
Mhm.
and that's kind of like how I felt about like what decks there were, and
Okay.
then um, something I really liked about Mikasa was that her core game plan is so strong that if you're not packing answers specifically to like stuff her card pool or make her play in progressive or something like that,
Mhm.
just blocking isn't necessarily good enough.
Sure.
And she also is a character who has access to so much card draw that you can find the tech pieces that help you in these matchups.
Okay.
Um, and Death just has a lot of answers to different things going on in the format. Where
Facts.
like
Yeah.
Forcing Surrender is fantastic against Heist. Dark Ward's fantastic against Devil Jin, and has a bit of a hedge into like block tricks from Rodan and
Oh,
Deku.
sure. Sure.
Yeah, and simply because like yes, you're a five-hander, but you just can play moves to dig deeper and deeper for
Mhm.
any of these tech pieces.
She's a quote unquote
Um,
five-hander. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest five-hander of all
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah. Biggest five-hander. Yeah.
I just really like that she there's absolutely powerful decks in the game, and I was messing around with heist decks too,
Yeah.
but I was worried about what their offense looked like when you didn't have heist or
Oh,
it was
sure.
answered, and um, I th- I don't know if this is categorically true. I'm not looking at all the deck lists to see if this is true,
Mhm.
but I think more people were playing answers to heist than they were to card pool clearing attacks.
That's because I forgot one errata. Pony got kneecapped, so people probably just took it.
Yeah,
People just took it out of their heads, right? Like, I think that like
yeah,
I've heard Mikasa be like she's just better Pony. She's Pony with damage. Sorry, not better Pony. She's just Pony with damage, which is even scarier. That you have a character who can attack 20 times and add 3 to 4 damage on every move, right? And
Mhm.
like speed, it's fine because like you said, like you can block 4 times against a Pony or even a Mikasa, and you'll still die because they're gonna throw 15 for 6 each at you, right? And you just get volume attacked, right? And it's just how it happens. It's how Pony did it. Like she just attacked you 50 times for 5 damage apiece, and you eventually died. And this character doesn't have to do it 50 times. She has to do it like 10. So which is very cool. And so I'm gonna cite in a cool little side question here. Do you think she gets touched in the January bans?
So I I'd honestly be surprised because I don't know. I think that this is something they want in the
Sure.
game.
Hmm.
They've given Death, they designed her.
Yeah.
She's in the game.
Hmm.
They've given Death and Air so many ways to clear cards in their card pool.
Correct.
They put Koenma's task in the format in UU. Like surely they expect it, and they put these remove synergies. So like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, um, I'd be like I would be surprised if she got hit
Yeah.
because usually I don't think we hit decks that fast.
Yeah.
And I would think they're, I would think the designers or the band team is thinking something like, all right, well, if players put in cards like Scales of Juno and
Correct.
like
Yeah.
More Filled with Doubt and stuff like that,
Mhm. Mhm.
and she still performs, maybe we should hit her.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, like because I was thinking about it and I was like, well, she's had like in the last two tournaments, she's had a crazy conversion rate, right? Like I think it's been like
Yes, yes.
80%, and then and a win for the most, you know. And Tam was
Mhm.
almost there in Glasgow. Like he left the Hanj player at 2. So he just was digging for that last attacks. Like we may have back to back. I think if he would have won Glasgow and you win Glasgow and you win Buffalo, maybe there's a conversation because that's a crazy conversion rate, right? Out of nowhere for the most part. And I don't think she's gonna get touched either. I would be surprised because normally, because they said about the pony errata is they like to hit the enablers before they hit the character. So I could see something happening to like anchor toss, focus gravity beam, something like that. They're not going to hit dual needle lunge because that's rotated in 2 months. They're not going to do a
They
twisty.
might like
It'd be
petty push
weird.
thing.
A twisty Nashor Inferno out of nowhere, like one of those things. Like that one was welcomed, but I don't know, man. I love my dual needle lunge, and I don't want it touched, right? Like give it
Yeah.
its day, right? But I don't think anything's gonna happen because, like you said, Scales of Juno is a powerful card. Filled with
Mhm.
Doubt, a powerful card. You know, there are other ways to stop card pool clearing, or or even like the oh man, not even to talk about Heat Tackle and the Mikasa draw. Like you
Yes,
don't
yeah,
get to
yeah.
push that button if Heat Tackle is in the card pool, right? Like you are a 5-hander that turn if Heat Tackle gets put into it. Um, so moving on from like I kind of even talked about the next question I had about your testing for the event. So obviously were you full send on Mikasa like from get go, or did you go ahead and test those other deck archetypes before choosing her?
So largely my testing for Buffalo wasn't necessarily like I'm playing for Buffalo,
Hmm.
but since like August till now, I was just playing games of decks that I wanted to play with,
Okay,
like locally and on tabletop.
sure.
And Mikasa ended up as one of those just because of how difficult it was to beat her. And
Yeah.
then as I continued to play her, when I would play her, I'd be like, "Oh, this is ridiculous! Like, this is like not even close. The only reason I'm losing is like variants of I bricked either
Oh,
I didn't
sure.
draw any attack cards or like you drew a couple of cards and it's still not like there's no attacks.
Hmm.
Um, so like I consistently thought she was broken. The only reason I was thinking about other characters for the event is there came to a point where I was feeling bored with her and I was like, well,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know, like that's not a great reason, but like,
Yeah.
you can only there is a point where you're like, all right, well, play moves clear, play moves clear,
Sure.
but like
Yeah.
not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Um, Now obviously that went away and I played her, so
Okay.
she
Yeah.
clearly she's fun enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is something to
But
say about you get to draw a schmillion cards on every turn, right? Like that's
yes, yeah.
like I think that's one of the things as card game players that we love to touch as many cards as possible. And this character gets to do that. You know, on every attack, you get to draw 2 extra cards, which is crazy, which is a weird return, right? With how much ramp death has in the format, or even then,
Mhm.
it's just like, well, cool, man. I'm just gonna like what I heard Tam talk. Like we were talking to Tam after Glasgow, and he was like, yeah, Weapon Clash is like one of the best cards in the deck. It says build. It says flip draw 2 on it, and it's
Yeah.
just like that's broken. Like saying something.
Yes.
If you think about it, like like we have to commit a card and have no cards in hand and passing the torch, right? Or like
Yeah.
or we have to jump through hoops. This character just goes flip this foundation. I draw 2 cards, and that's just like that seems busted, right? Like it's just on
Yes.
face. And I know I think a lot of people see a 5-hander and they're like, well, she doesn't do speed. She doesn't give like throw, or because it's hard for a 5-hander to deal damage. But I guess like if you're throwing 50 attacks, eventually they'll hit, right? Like it's just eventually.
Yeah.
And
Also,
go ahead, continue. Sorry for interjecting.
no, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna say that low attacks are real and can hurt you. A lot of her moves are low.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you throw like you could throw 6 low attacks and your opponent only has blocks for like 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then that could be I'll keep it low. Let's see, it'd be like 8, 9, and another 8. So it'd be like 25 damage with just 3 moves.
Yeah.
And
That's all.
if your opponent's
It's if they can block 3 of them, right? Like more people don't have that
yeah,
many low blocks unless like later in the game, right? Because they'll be like,
mhm,
well, you're throwing mostly low, so I'll start holding my low blocks. But then early game is when this character kind of shines because you're just like, well, I'm gonna throw 3 lows and I'll throw a high and then I'll throw another low and then I'll throw another low. It's like,
yeah,
and your deck kind of focused in on like that low attack package as we can get into the event and get it into the list. Like you primarily focused on, I'm going to overload you on the low zone and I'm going to call your bluff and saying you don't have it. Um,
yeah.
I know that you.
And
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I have a question about one attack in your deck, but because I know why it's in there because I saw your B-roll video about it. So, but people who may have not seen it may have not, may not know. But go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So we're probably coming to the same point then. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, even if you know that it's only lows, it's entirely possible that if you only hold for that, you could just die to dual needle lunges,
Correct.
especially because weapon at the ready is another copy of dual needle.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's theoretically possible to go with a string of dual needles that are 8 to 9 damage,
Yeah.
and you're just staring at low blocks in your hand, and you're like, well, I guess I'm dead.
I've done that before. Yep. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that to a pony where I'm like, cool, they're changing it to low. I'll hold mids and lows, and then it's just like, well, I'm gonna change the zone to high now. I'm like, ah, oh, fuck. Then you just
Yeah,
die.
yeah,
But I know we had Guilty Gear come out, and you have just this one Guilty Gear card in your deck, Dust Attack. And I know you like Dust Attack because you got interviewed in between rounds, and you said that Dust Attack is one of your favorite cards out of Guilty Gear. So do you want to explain
yeah,
why Dust Attack is one of your favorite cards out of Guilty Gear, again, for the kids at home?
yeah. So essentially, this card is like a new dual needle lunge.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a weakness to it. If your opponent just full blocks it, it is not dual needle.
Yeah.
But in a deck where um, I think this is true in Devil Jin as well. In a deck where you can keep threatening your opponent on the low zone,
Mm-hmm.
where there's actually a cost to them full blocking this move,
Yeah.
it can really shine. And then there's also, if you can get momentum quickly, it is just dual needle.
Oh, sure.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, once you get the Roman cancel token, if they don't block it, it ignores progressive.
Mm-hmm.
If they do block it, you just use Roman cancel purple to clear it and draw a card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then one final thing with it, well, two, I guess two.
Sure.
Like it is, I can't count. It's the whole Roman cancel, man. That card, the Roman cancel token is crazy.
Yes, it is.
It
I agree.
yeah, so it gets to essentially be another card pool clearing attack.
Mm-hmm.
Because of purple.
Yep.
It gets to be a defensive trick because of yellow that most people are unprepared for.
Oh, sure.
A lot of the interaction that we have is canceling canceling enhances or like stunning your stage.
Sure.
And so like it bought me time against like it bought me time against Hanji, for example,
Mm-hmm.
where they just didn't have a way to push through response referee jury.
Ah, gotcha. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And then like with the zone changing stuff, red can matter if you're sussing out your opponent doesn't have
Yeah.
high blocks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If they just took the dual needles on the chin, you could be like, oh, okay, I'll make my one speed focus gravity beam a high and then powerful it and make it dead.
You powerful it and you yeet them for their life total. Yeah.
Yeah. And then weirdly, blue absolutely can matter, especially if you're playing like the razor thin aggro matchups.
Yeah.
Where
Mm-hmm.
it mattered in my top 8 game against Ryan, where his checks combined with one less foundation because of the freeze
Yeah.
meant that I was able to get another turn and ultimately win that game.
Hell yeah. We'd love to see that. I am a full believer that the Roman cancel token is probably the coolest mechanic we've ever had in the game. Just because I know people are sus about it becoming actual momentum. I'm not going to get into that part of the conversation, but having 4 really cool, unique abilities where they all matter at points in the game, like you said. Like I've used blue to freeze one foundation, and my rival was off by one. They had to commit their character, so they could not get their damage pump, and I lived another turn. Right, like it
Yeah.
matters. Like the yellow, where if people aren't prepared, they're not playing like Hard Rock Witch or Chinatown, something that says no, you can't interact with my damage. You just get blown out. Like you just like, well, I
Yeah.
guess they don't die. And then, like you said, the zone change. I'm bad at sussing out zone stuff, but I always just make things low if I have to. I mean, it's a free low, right? It's they usually
Yeah.
will hit, you know. And the purple, don't get like we talked about Scales of Juno earlier. Like I think Scales of Juno should be played just because of Roman Cancel purple, right? Like being able to clear a card and draw a card on offense is super powerful, right? We saw Pony do it, and
Yes.
and she got kneecapped, and and like it's I think it's the coolest mechanic, flavor wise and mechanically wise, because it's just so it adds another layer of complexity that we love about our game, and I think it's one of the coolest things. I just really do. I don't know. I don't know. I just love the Guilty Gear set as a whole. I think it's one of the coolest sets we've had in a long time because it just feels so mechanically
100%.
dense, but it also has answers to the mechanics that are in the set, if that makes sense, right? Like it's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, we could just do a take 10 with the Roman cancel
Oh
purple and
yeah.
just get it on here and start interviewing.
Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah. So another thing about your deck that I noticed that is like the most of the Mikasas that I saw, they were playing Lunacy Harris, right? They were playing a guaranteed throw. You opted for Trace Eyes and Lethal Rending in the deck. Do you want to talk
Mhm.
about like why you went this way instead of with the throw?
Yeah, so uh I want to preface this with that I think Mikasa is like a super like crazy deck builders deck
Hmm.
where I'm not even convinced on this list that I have played as like the best
Oh,
one.
sure. Okay.
But the reason that I chose not to play Luna is because early on when I was playing some test games with Mikasa, some of the worst hands that I could have are multiple Luna
Oh,
hands
sure.
where
Sure.
the block mod is like too awful to like realistically defend with.
Hmm.
And then the going on a just raw playing it on a 6 and then having to play another one on a 7.
Yeah.
Things can quickly go wrong in those game
Yeah.
states.
They can.
And I wanted to uh, play. I don't think I'm. I currently don't think you can play nothing but gas moves. I think Luna and Trace Eyes and Lethal Rending are bricks
Okay.
in that they, if you draw too many of them early, you can't start doing the card pool clearing thing. Like, but I think that Trace Eyes and Lethal were slightly better bricks
Hmm.
because the 4 damage from Lethal is a really big deal.
Yeah.
And then also, it's not that hard to be able to pass the lethal rending at the end of a string if
Oh.
it's just on a 5.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if it's your last move, you don't need Mikasa pump on it. It makes itself 9
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. And then with Trace Eyes, um, you can tutor it with weapon at the ready,
Hmm.
and
Oh, you
then
can.
it is
Oh, that's
also
sick. It's attack. Hell yeah, that's dope.
yeah, and it also is just more chances to draw cards because it's an echo. You
Echo.
get to play it twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
And
the Nago thing, right? Like my character puts a bunch of damage on. I'm playing a bunch of echoes because I can just put multiple.
mhm.
I can make them for like 20, right? Like that's super cool, and I like that. Like you just stated, like in Mikasa, it's draw 4, right?
Yes, yeah, and it gives you a little bit more value out of your forcing surrenders if they're not good in the matchup.
Sure.
Where you can turn Trace Size into another card pool clear move.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play on +1 progressive one time, but
Yeah.
usually that's okay.
Yeah, it's usually like on a
Um,
5, and that's easily passable in a deck that clears its card pool on its own, right? Like, yeah,
yes, yeah.
yeah.
But then Luna is definitely fucked up when you do the string. Like
It's a one diff, yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah. At the end of the game, it's like, all right, my entire stage is gone.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. These are just passing.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I played a lot of games without it,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, obviously the event is a representation of it
Yes,
too. You can
true.
just kill people
Y-
without Lunatiers in your
Correct.
deck.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be sad when Dual Needle Lunge rotates in March because that's one of my favorite. I think it's one of my favorite attacks that has ever been printed in the game, just because
Mhm.
it kind of is this really cool like self-fulfilling button that you get to push, right? Like you get to add it to your momentum after it resolves. It has a momentum effect that doesn't really matter all the time, but in Rodan matchups it kind of does. Um, and then like it has the EX2 to get back into your discard pile to weapon at the ready. Like it really came back up. Like it's always been a great attack, right? It's always been this really cool piece that if I need snap momentum on these symbols, I'm slapping 4 dual needle lunges in my deck. Now you just play a tension
Mhm.
move, honestly. Um, but like you have, but unless you're playing like weapon at the ready, where you're just like, cool man, I'm gonna tutor this to the top of my deck every time, and in a character that draws cards on her face, every copy, like you said, every weapon at the ready is a copy of dual needle lunge, and then you get to remove your Koema's task in your discard pile to get them
Right.
activated
Yeah.
is crazy. Like there's so much
Yeah.
synergy in this deck. But and then I do want to state one more thing before I go off into I'm going into another tangent. When you killed Devil Jin with the lethal rending, that was awesome. Like you slapped that thing. It was just like he's gonna kill him with a lethal rending because that's like 9 damage on its own. It's just like
Yes.
it was like watching you destroy your stage down, down, down. Like it was just it's crazy. Like the deck is like it's like a it's like a high you have to ride. It's like this. You're always trying to get to that peak, and then like when you get that, that's when the deck is just running on all cylinders, and it's just like you said, it's like almost
Yeah.
impossible to like stop it outside of a few set cards. Um, I do want to ask about so with Focus Gravity Beam. Do you think this is like a sleeper pick and like just not just in Mikasa, but like in other characters that could possibly play it? Like it being able to remove itself by removing a card in hand offensively, do you think it's only good in this deck, or do you think it's also good in other decks that it can possibly be in?
I definitely think it can be good in other decks.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely need to have some source of reliable card draw. Like
Yeah.
I I think Mikasa's pretty similar to Peak in that both characters are expending their stage as for a resource.
Mm-hmm.
Peak's giving stats as opposed to card draw. But um, if you have so like in Peak, if you have the Irwin 2 diff that says once per turn draw a card
Oh,
when you sack a foundation,
yeah.
um, I don't think it's that unreasonable to card like this in a Peak deck like that, where
Mm.
you have like extra cards from pushing the limits, the Irwin Foundation. Um, but it it definitely matters that you can actually play enough moves,
Mm-hmm.
or I think that this is the only low attack in your deck
Okay.
because
Yeah.
one speed it does suck for
Yeah, it
that.
does
Like
suck.
it is very slow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and to be honest, like having stun one, powerful three, it's almost like a throw itself at a slow, like, at such a slow speed. Um,
Mhm.
when we ever like, I'm surprised. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen this in a lot of peak lists or even like an Irwin list could play this. I could even see like a Rodan play this because it's on Void and
Yeah.
it gives them a powerful move that a lot of them don't have, right? Like if they're playing repeated, yes, um,
Mhm.
but like I guess like this is kind of like a budget repeated like finisher in a way because like if your rivals tapped out and they don't have cards in hand, powerful three is like the freest thing ever, right? You slap that button a million times and they die. It doesn't matter how
Yeah.
fast it is in a way. So, um, moving on to the
It's
foundation.
definitely.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, do you have something else?
I was just gonna say it's definitely a good one, and
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
not. We don't have to write it off just because like
It has one speed.
we
Yeah.
don't see it in other deck. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct, correct. Yeah, and I think maybe with rotation, we'll see more decks like slotting this in as like a one or a two of like late game, end of string. Well, I got this. You have no cards in hand. This has powerful three. I got 4 momentum or something like that, right? Like, I could see
Mhm.
something like that. Moving on to the foundation base, I do want to ask because I thought this was the coolest pick ever for a character that destroys on face. 4 copies of Smiling Death. As a student of the Tim Keefe Snipes school, I thought this card was the coolest addition to this deck because when you destroy with her, you get to remove and flip a target, rival foundation, which could be huge. It could be a moment of normalcy, a dark ward, anything. But, like something that can stuff your card pool, like an Ocean Buddies that could stuff your card pool with something. What was the thoughts of bringing this in over like more of a, I don't know, like I know a lot of the decks were maxing their Desperate Struggles, um, but like you chose for foundation control, which is I think is something really cool. So give us our thoughts on that one.
Yeah, so I'm really glad you pointed this one out because I fucking love Smiling Death.
Hell yeah.
I A lot of the playtesting I did was with Loss of Consciousness,
Mm,
and
yeah,
very often I'd find myself being like, man, if this was just Smiling Death, I'd be so much happier.
sure.
And it's a couple of things. So for the you'll randomly hate Loss of Consciousness against the surprising skill decks,
Oh yeah.
where that card also just stuns you if you seal one of their
Mhm.
foundations.
Mhm.
So like instead of making your opponent's cards better, you can just run Smiling Death and still answer the things in their stage.
Mhm.
Um, and then there was a lot of times when I played the Mikasa deck where um, you can't always know that you're going to win the turn that you lost of consciousness.
Yeah.
And Smiling Death is a permanent answer, unlike loss of consciousness.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like if my turn started out with Smiling Death, like flipping something, even if I just built that turn, I'd still feel happy about them losing the resource.
Sure.
And then additionally, there'd be sometimes defensively where I blew up a loss of consciousness to seal like an exam strategy or like a shared memories or something,
Yeah.
some positive resource that they have in their stage.
Mhm.
And Smiling Death being a permanent answer meant that if like they are not going to, just like loss of consciousness, they won't kill me this turn probably,
Yeah.
but then I don't have to worry about it on my next turn. I don't have to worry about it if I pass back to them.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And then one final story with this,
Yeah.
like I like this is just to the peak UniVersus experience of the the last time I played against Ryan Levine in tournament
Yeah.
was at Atlanta last year,
Okay.
and he was still playing Hawks, and I was playing a Evil Elder Toguro deck,
Mhm.
and I opted for Loss of Consciousness in that deck, um, and Loss of Consciousness sucks so bad against Ryan's deck against new number one
Oh.
and number two pro
Oh
hero.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, and in our first game of top eight, I sacked Smiling Death instead of Response, and Ryan moved to use number two pro hero, and I got to be like, no, no, I learned. This is the good one. This is how we beat.
That's awesome. No, 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 my friend. We have leveled up since then. We have
Yes,
we have achieved
we hit.
peak performance. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the hyperbolic time chamber, and I was like, no, I know how to. I know what the good ones are now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I thought it was great because a lot of people just auto go to Lost of Consciousness just because if it's flipped, you can still use it because it's on discard when it hits the
Yes.
discard. This has
Yeah.
to be face up. But again, you don't flip a lot of things. Like that's if you were playing like a greater goal style deck that makes more sense to play Loss of
Mhm.
Consciousness. But personally, I think we may see this adaptation from Loss of Consciousness because of there really isn't as many casino style decks really anymore to man, Smiling Death is like awesome. Like if you can get a value for destroying your own foundations or sacking your own foundations, um, this is way better. Target flip is crazy because there are times where I'm just like, wow, I wish I could really deal with a moment of normalcy permanently, or a rifle arm permanently, or anything
Yeah.
like against your deck. Like I want to flip like everything, like desperate struggle. I want to flip weapon at the ready. Dark wards like
Yep.
if you have target snipe like that, and flipping's so powerful opposed to sealing because sealing drops up for the end of the turn, and like you said, it's face down unless they have a way to unless they're like Keyleth and they can unflip it, which let's be honest, no one plays her anyways. So
Yeah.
much to my chagrin, and tear drops down. Um, but yeah, like this was an incredibly cool adaptation to the list that I think that was missing, right? Like because obviously your 4x weapon at the ready, weapon clash, forcing surrender, dark wards. That's like the first 16 foundations you put in, right? And then you just spice to flavor. It was really nice seeing Always Cool make another, like, a an appearance in a deck. I don't remember if Tam was playing this, but I do like this. Hey man, this is actually potentially build for. Draw four cards, build two, draw four cards on my next turn. Because usually what you'd throw this in on your rival's like first or second, like first attack turn if you had it out to just to ramp for the most part.
So the the only time I that is definitely an idea with it.
Hmm.
The only time I really had it was against Hanj,
Okay.
and so against her specifically, I w- against unyielding decks specifically,
Yeah.
I would hold Weapon Clash and Always Cool,
Okay.
specifically for an unyielding. So if you're going to unyielding me, I'm going to have these foundations
Hmm.
to rebuild my stage back up on your turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in theory, if I found it against, it's hard because the damage reset is also very impactful.
Oh
But
yeah, sure.
in
Yeah.
theory,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could like if I built 3 on turn 1, I'd be fine with like shoving it up
Yeah.
just so I have 4 next
Just for
turn.
your
So
board. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I do. It was kind of sad to see this card kind of fall out of favor in the meta because the all and the good symbol kind of disappeared for a year. Um, but like it's just a really nice way to be like, hey man, your blitz ability don't work. Like on a Titan pile, it's
yeah,
4 damage, dude. Like it's not going anywhere.
yeah.
It's staying there, right? And like it could like against I'm surprised like this didn't see a lot of play against 9 Titan decks just because offensively, sure, it sucks to sack a foundation offensively to save 5 damage, but sometimes it matters, right? Like it is
Yeah.
another way you could use that is like offensively to protect your damage, or like I was like a good Deku list could just pump stats and then be like, no, it can't be modified. That's just like holy shit, what am I supposed to do? You know, um, but yeah, like the pushing the limits, that's just anything in a deck that sacks. Uh, fighting. Okay, so final round wise, I'll let you inside behind the curtain. We started getting really hyped for fighting for control when Breaker started sucking because everyone just started pushing through Breaker. Like and
Hmm.
there's a point where in the meta, I would say like in the last like couple months, maybe prior to Buffalo, where just like if you Breaker to someone, they're just gonna fight through it, right? Like they'll
Yeah.
play a foundation and clear it, or like pony specifically or whatever, because we're trying to find answers to card pool clearing and hitting them for -2 while saving not stuffing a card in your card pool was actually benefiting more than Breaker 2, I should say, because Breaker 3 and above is crazy. But like doing a -2, and it's on a non-foundation card too, so if they play an action, like if they or whatnot, you can still
Yeah.
hit that. You can still hit the action. Um, but let me hear your thoughts on fighting for control and how you came around to adding it to your deck.
So, I'm kind of like jumping the gun. I don't know if you were going to ask me about no Botan's coaching in the deck,
That will be my
but
next question, but yeah, go ahead. You can jump into that as well if you want to.
okay. So yeah. So as I was putting the deck together for Buffalo, because I had a lot of iterations of
Hmm.
her,
Okay.
where like a lot of different things you can move and tweak, like Smiling Death versus Loss of Consciousness.
Hmm.
The 2 discs I chose are four. A lot of them are 4-0s, but like I don't think you're crazy if you put like 2 Dark Ward, 4 Always Cool, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, I was looking at Botan's coaching when I was putting it in the list, and I was like, you know, a lot of the time this card just doesn't do anything.
Mm,
Um, we already draw so much on face, and if we're not playing the Bing Bong effects like I'm with you in Loss of Consciousness, you
yeah.
lose out on that value.
Sure.
Um, and so I wanted to play a more impactful card, and that just ended up being 2 diff foundations. And what I specifically swapped like the 4 Botons for was for fighting for control.
Okay.
And I really value just the way more powerful effect, because
Mm,
even Botons is like um, hitting the button could also like theoretically lose you a game if you end up in some game states where your opponent might be like missing a move, but you don't know that, and you use it to like get an extra card,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
maybe you find them the block mod that they didn't have before.
Sure. Sure.
Um,
I've done
And
that
with
before.
fighting for
I've done that. I've baited
yeah,
my rival into pushing a button so I can get a dig for the block mod I needed. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. If you can Jedi mind trick them, it works out sometimes. Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah. But then it's like some of the variants can like not go your way with
Sure.
it too.
Yeah.
So with fighting for control, it is a like as a two diff, it can answer both heist and just any
Mm-hmm.
attack archetype. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you it helps fight against unyielding by making them seven diffs. It helps fight against equipment heist by making it a seven diff.
Yeah.
It it can just keep you alive at the end of a string if it's like devil like if Delgin didn't play heist and you just want to save fighting for control for like their last move
Yeah.
or like one of their later moves,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a very big deal to do that.
Yeah.
And then um uh, a little nice thing about it is having 8 4 check in your deck does mean that sometimes you will not have to blow up a ready foundation for Mikasa
Oh.
when you check a foundation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I think fighting control is very good, and I think I would continue to not play Botons in this deck
Okay.
so long as I'm not playing Bing Bong effects.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Like, I do think that in a way, like this is just like you said yourself, like this is flip -2 to it's breaker 2 technically, and then you get to draw 2 cards, and it's usually probably committed because if you check a 4, whatever, you commit it. But
Yeah,
like it's really neat to see that everyone's like, oh, you play these symbols, you gotta slam 4 Botons and everything, and I'm just like, do you though? Like, sure,
yeah,
like I mean, like, let's be honest, Death has a gluttony of zero diffs it can play, right? Like it has some of the
yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's Death and Life, and maybe Water have some like the best zero diffs currently. And at post rotation, obviously it gets even slimmer, but seeing the thought process, like your character draws enough on face. Like I don't want to give my rival a free card. I don't want to give them a chance to draw the attack to kill me if I'm looking for something defensively. Because I've seen I think in testing, Tam was blowing up face-up Botons because I'm like, I don't want to give you a card, so I'm just gonna blow up
Yes, yeah,
face-up Botons. It's just like there becomes a point where it's like I don't want to give my rival resources, so why am I even playing it? Why not just take it out of the equation and play a more powerful effect in
yeah.
that? Um, so moving into your sideboard. Okay, first of all, okay, well, not scratch that. How many times did you resolve the Coemus task form?
Let me look back at the match list. Let's see. So I I think honestly, I don't think I did it that much. I'm like looking at
Yeah,
the match history and just
yeah,
trying to like remember when I did it.
sure.
Like, um, definitely, I did it in top 4 at least once. I did it in top 8
Okay, okay.
twice.
Oh gosh, twice.
Uh,
Oof.
yeah, but I think it was like game 2 and game 3
Yeah.
type of thing.
Okay. Okay.
And then in Swiss, I think I did it. Did I do it in? I think I did it only once in Swiss.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so not
Not as
not that
much.
many
Not
times
as
throughout the
much. Okay.
tournament.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because it's one of the hypest
but
moves ever. When you pull off the Coemus task form, you know you worked for it. Well, I guess not much in this deck because you get to remove
yeah, in
cards.
this deck, no,
Nah, it's not really working for it. It just happens. So,
yeah, yeah,
but it is really good though. Like this card's super cool. Like it gives you like the. I know City Rampage really isn't the thing anymore, but like I know Ezra was playing it in his Krista deck, so that gives an edge over some things. Rodon, I'm sure against Jake in top 4, you probably can't. You were able to cancel barrier shields with
I
it.
did. Yes,
Yeah, so
yes,
that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
that's crippling to a deck that needs to block your move and ask you to stop blocking, right? And
Mhm.
because I asked him about that matchup, and I go, hey man, I go, Jake, why weren't you playing Heat Tackle in your deck? He's like, and I was like, it hits characters, dude. It like it doesn't make the Mikasa matchup free. It doesn't make Devil Jin free, but it does tell your rival, hey man, stop it, like knock it off.
Yeah,
And he's like, I didn't think, and a lot of people I've talked to have just overlooked the fact that it hits characters, right? Like It tells
Mhm.
Devil Jin, I'm gonna block your first low, and then if you're gonna try to check hack your 10th move, it's not gonna happen, right? Like it tells them no to their character ability, and
Yeah.
it does that to Mikasa as well. And I'm just like, that could have turned the tide. He's like, yeah, I have to. Now he's in full. He has this top four list, so now he wants to make the champion list, right? So he's
Mhm.
adding the cards that he probably should have played, right? And but this is a fantastic card that when they re brought it out with Yu Yu Hakusho with Dark Tournament, I'm just like, okay, I'm down. How is it? How are we resolving this in certain stuff? And then like Weapon at the Ready came out, and I'm just like, oh boy, like when I was seeing the Percy lists do it, or or the like other decks that could remove on face or have an ability to remove that they could pull it off. Um, I would like to talk about your sideboard.
Mhm.
I assume Unbreakable was for the unyielding decks. I assume because you do want your stage.
Yes.
You hate being BD built to four. Timely
Yes.
counter. Go ahead and you can go through them if you have any thoughts on them because I wanted to talk about Harness on Depth whenever you get to it. So
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just go down on like the
okay,
ultra list.
yeah, that's fine.
So timely counterattack is the first one. I wanted some number of the breaker block, but I don't think this card is necessarily forexible because it's such a liability. I think against the speed buff characters.
Sure.
Um, like not just in Mikasa, but even when I was like playtesting Jamie in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
I'd stare at this 3 mid block against like Rodan or Peak and be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"Oh, I cannot use this one. Like
Correct.
this is not doing anything."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I I do acknowledge though that it's like pretty decent against Devil Jin that didn't find Heist
Yeah.
or just like also like the mirror match where we're just throwing like really blockable moves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I wanted it as another. I wanted the option against some of the literally slower attack decks.
Yeah.
Uh, and then yeah, as you say with Unbreakable. Oh, and then for like citing counterattack out or citing counterattack in, it might have been like a it could be stuff like anchor toss or tray size would be some of the stuff that I like move around or
Okay.
like dust attack.
Yeah.
Because you still want a large number of the same move for Koenmas,
Yeah.
but um those would be some of like the ones I'd look to
Mm-hmm.
cut.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then with Unbreakable, yes, it was mainly for the unyielding decks, just to make sure my stage is healthy. Um, usually, the cards I'd be setting out for the foundations were my two diffs
Mm-hmm.
as like a they weren't all of these cards aren't always good into every opponent.
Yeah.
Um, and so like Dark Ward might not have been as valuable, or Always Cool might not have been as valuable, or um, like maybe I didn't value fighting for control. Like against Rodan, it's fine, but it wasn't really like Rodan being tapped out wasn't really the name of the game against
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
against beating a Rodan. Um, with same with Fashion Icon, like it would be taking the slot of some of the other two diffs,
Mm-hmm.
but that one's mainly for it's just more hate for heist decks,
Oh,
and
sure.
then also to help against Rodan or Peak
Mm-hmm.
or even Hanj. It's like pretty easy for the speed characters to just play like two fast moves on turn two,
Yeah.
like chunk you for like 10 and then find 15 the following turn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so Fashion Icon to just reset the moves to printed speed, or like if they played a slower move before it, then it makes it even easier.
Oh, sure.
Um, and then so we're finally at Harness and
Yes,
Death.
on Harness on
So
Death. Yes.
yeah, so um, I of like the games I've been playing like after AOT3 came out,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I really felt like one of the best cards to punish the backup decks is Harness on Death.
Okay.
Um, and so like there's some options like you can play Devastating Loss in this deck as like
Yeah.
I'll trade this foundation with your backup. But I found that even when Nine Titans was around, I found like Devastating Loss didn't actually matter that much.
Sure.
Because then they could like rock barrage the Nine Titans back and it'd just be like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
didn't really
Yeah.
didn't really get anywhere here.
And plus, you sack your own foundations to draw cards. So why would you want to sack something that you need to
Yeah.
create your offensive engine with.
Yeah, so there's definitely a cost to that one. And then um so with Harness on Death, it was like a way more impactful card
Hmm.
of if this one touches you, you're dead. And
That's true. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
um and so that's why I wanted to like play it in my deck as like an out to the backup decks.
Okay.
And um I only really played against one in Swiss, which was Alex on Hanj, and game two I was able to win it uh because Harness on Death hit him for like 15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's just like,
That's awesome.
you know, like it counts toward progressive,
Yeah.
but if it's doing half of their life total, I'm okay with
I
that.
think
Like
we're fine with that. Yeah, if it's stealing, and then
yeah,
you also gain health too. So if it's like if you have to pass back into them, you're also gaining health when you hit them, right? If you're not
yeah,
killing them that turn, you kind of refresh your health a little bit, which is kind of nice. Yeah,
yeah,
I've been thinking about doing that too, like in decks on symbol, obviously, like where I'm like, well, I don't really want to play a foundation that destroys itself because Brock Barrage exists, like I'm in the same school of
mhm,
thought, right? And Harness on Death would be the best way to combat those backup decks, like the Zeke ones, the Zeke twos, and all of the world. And it's just like, cool, man, this is gonna be like for 20 if it touches you. And then
yeah,
since you're more primarily low attack focused, it just opens them up, right? Like you're like, well, you're gonna
yes,
block this one for
exactly.
20. Well, I'm gonna hit you 5 more times for 7 to 8, and you're gonna die anyways, right? Like it's
Yeah, like I saved the Harness and Death till after I played a bunch of
oh
other attacks
sure,
and like
yeah.
powerful the focus gravity.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, it's probably the better line. It's probably the way better line, to be honest, because here I am. Oh, man. And then you're like, nah, 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 young one. We're doing it this way. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. And neat synergy was in that match. Dual Needles Mill was giving burn damage to Harness on Death. Like I was just firing it off.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, we love
Yeah.
that. Yes.
So a big fan of Dual Needles.
Hell yeah. Dual needle lunge. Dual needle lunge is so sick. It's because I was a like I always thought like it was weird like right like it's I always had it in Toga 3 because it's like cool, it's free momentum, right? And it's EX, it gives you momentum, and as EX, it's a really good, great first attack. It's a 6 high for 7. It was one of those things just like, man, like I just want to slam all these 5 diffs in her now, and it eventually just kind of got cut for other things, and I'm so glad to see it being played because it's one of my favorite cards from that set, and from like the My Hero era, it's one of my favorite Ultra rares. It just really is. It's so cool.
Yeah, this one's it's so good.
And then you got 2 copies of Keiko's Aid because it's Keiko's Aid, and you tell people to stop attacking you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it was just more. It was effectively more copies of Timely
yeah,
Counterattack, but instead of being a 3 check, it was a 5 check. So
correct.
just
Yeah, yeah.
swap some foundations that weren't very good for that.
It's also
Same thing.
breaker two. It's breaker two, draw two for you. So like fighting for
Yes.
control, right? Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Like our foundations are good.
yeah. we don't we don't we don't go to deadlock very often. If we go to deadlock, something wrong has happened, right? Like
Yes, yeah.
so the list we went through it. I'm gonna try to see if I framed this right in OBS. I did. I'm gonna move your face just over to the side. Whoop. With your matchups, other than finals, obviously, where you won in some very very cool fashion. Like the match. I watched all of Top Cuts, and I thought your guys like everyone was like, "Wow, this is gonna be the fastest finals match ever," and it really wasn't. It was fast, but it wasn't the fastest finals ever, in my opinion. It was really cool watching you both navigate like well, if I don't kill them this turn, they'll kill me next turn, like thought mentality, right? Because like you guys are
Yeah.
explosive, and it's like super explosive. And give me your thought process before we get into some memorable stuff. What was your thought process going into that finals match, right? Like, what was like, what were you looking out for other than heist, obviously? Like, what was your game plan focusing on Devil Jin?
So, I was fortunate enough to my friend and local Shaw, who I mentioned at the beginning,
Mhm.
where like this UniVersus journey started. He's been playing Devil Jin the entire year. I have
Oh,
played against Devil Jin so much.
oh man.
I'm sick of this guy,
Yeah,
dude. I
yeah,
fucking hate Devil
yeah. I
Jin.
get you. I get you. Yeah.
Um, and so uh, there's like there was basically like two lines of victory where it's if you can if you're going first and you can dome him to like 18,
Mhm.
it's pretty easy to defend against him with 35 health and
Yeah.
um having some I'll speak more to the defense, but like essentially blocking him when you can,
Okay.
and like doming him to 18 is like a good going first strategy. Going second, I really wanted outs to, I really wanted to find outs to heist and uh, any of his card pool effects.
Oh, sure.
So
Yep.
like, um,
Like Dark
I was
Ward
like
stuff like
very
that.
happy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and like on like I have a million foundations in my deck that are just fantastic against devil. Like finding the forcing surrenders, finding always cool,
Mhm.
fighting for control, dark ward, smiling death, even
Yeah.
like
Yep.
smiling death, flipping a horrifying realization, kind of is negate an attack if they're doing the
Oh, the
camo
camouflage
counter stuff.
counter. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, desperate struggle is also good, uh, but yeah. So it's like going second. I want to find these foundations and build them, and then I don't want to turn. I don't want to have to be in a situation where I have to turn to Devil Jin.
Mhm.
But like if they aggress into me that hard, like I'm going to go for it.
Mm.
Um, and then yeah, going first. Like if I can just poke them down to like 18 and then like build and like block one or two, I should be
Should
okay.
be okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then defensively, it's really tricky because he has the zone change stuff.
Mm.
But something that you can always do is holding a mid block for his um, final moves can be totally fine
Mm.
because it saves you more health than like half blocking the first one. If
Oh,
you know,
sure. Yeah,
half,
because exponentially you get bigger. So yeah, it's just easier to. It's just better numbers wise to block later. Yeah.
yeah, like if you block the first move for 6 damage, you save 3 health. If
Mhm.
you block the last one for like 15, you save like 8 health or whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then the the difficult part of the matchup that is like really the player and your experiences with the game is the zone changing part
Yeah.
because if if Kyle kept his vast hybrid a high instead of making it a low in game one, like the very first thing he did in game one was a high vast hybrid, make it a low.
Yeah.
Um, and like I'm holding, like I held on to Syndicate as like a as like I'm going to block one of your low attacks
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
And if I don't remember his exact graveyard at that point, I could watch the stream, but with Vast Hybrid specifically, he could have kept it a high.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he gets camo on top of his deck, and like things could go wrong for me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you can't unless unless you're playing Face Shield or Dexterous Advantage, like you can't have the perfect block every time.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Commentary brought that up in your match where they're like, well, I think it was Sam that brought it up that you kept the syndicate target in hand to block with otherwise than just building it for the extra foundation and then hoping you draw two low block off the two cards you draw with Mikasa. So it was like a really good heads up play by in your experience with the deck. Obviously, you've been doing this training arc against Devil Jin all year. It's only fair that you finish him off in the finals, right? And
Yeah.
so like you have that heads up player, like, well, if he's gonna make it a low, I got the easiest block in the world. I'm just gonna burn one and just move on with my life, right? Like it's just, and then you play block lottery off the top of your deck if you need anything else, right? So,
Yeah.
so that was a really cool heads up play. That was really good. Like me, I would just been like, okay, man, I'm gonna try to hold one of everyone. I don't know. Like we don't have Devil Jin locally very much because people don't really play him that much. But yeah, it's like it's very cool to see someone go through the training arc of, well, fuck that guy. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him, you know. So it's just um.
Dude, it felt so good.
So in your Swiss rounds, you face Jake Hyatt. You get 2-0'd by him. And then you get
Yes.
you get the dirty run back in top four, man. That's sick. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Like what happened in top four that flipped it in your advantage? Did you get to go first against him, or did he get to go
No,
first?
he got to go first.
Okay.
So this is Phil Bird's propaganda of
Okay.
in round two I won the die roll and I went first both games and lost. In top four against Jacob, I was lower seed, so I went second both times. So
Mm-hmm.
going second is broken. Obviously, just go second. It's so good. But so I think um truly like when I say I had like the roll a nat 20 um like frame perfect like
Yeah.
fighting game combo like pixel of health type thing.
Moment
Um
37 at Evo. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, literally. Like um I I I I don't want to take away from like the decisions I made in my deck
Mm-hmm.
building or like decisions I made in gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
but truly my um top 8 and top 4 games had pivotal moments where, and you can ask Barrett about this, and I think Sam was the commentator with him too. Um, they're commentating top 8. Barrett hears me from like a couple tables over yell, "Holy fucking shit!" when I'm playing against Ryan,
Yeah.
and then in top 4 against Jacob in game 1 Barrett hears me say that shit.
Yeah.
He hears me say the exact same thing. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah. It was that
Because,
close. The margins are that close when you get to that, when you get into like the top cuts like that. Yeah, oh my god.
yeah,
Like even in Swiss rounds, like the decisions you make early game matter late game, right? Like they all
yeah,
lead up to that point in every game where you're just like, man, I wish I would have done this 3 turns ago to set this up, right? Like
yeah,
it's insane how small inconsequential decisions we make, like on turn 2, turn 3. Like I'll flip this foundation to do this, but did you really have to do that? Because you could have saved it for a turn 4 win, right? Or if I would have had this, I would have won on turn 4 or whatever. But
yeah.
that's super cool. So go ahead. I'm sorry for interjecting. So go ahead and continue.
No, you're good, you're good. I want to tell the story. So obviously there's more than just the single game.
Mm-hmm.
But at least in the match against I do think Mikasa can beat Rodan, but I don't necessarily think it's like super favored one way or the other. Like, you know, depending on how the cards fall, depending on how the players play, because it can get really complex game states where you're not getting turn 2'd, but as the game goes on, it's like a lot of moving pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But in game 1 against Jacob, I ended up through all the defense and blocking that had happened. We ended up in a game state where my card pool was face up tray size, dust attack that counts toward progressive,
Mm-hmm.
and he barrier shields it, and I know he's gonna breaker it.
Yeah.
And I know that I have like one attack in my deck, or it might have been 2. My deck was very small. I
Yeah.
know it was more likely I was checking a 5 and drawing 5s.
Okay.
So I really didn't want to use Mikasa because I had enough attacks in hand.
Yeah.
But once he barrier shielded me, my hand was 3 dual needle lunges.
Oh.
And I had one ready resource and Mikasa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like razor thin.
Yeah.
I know that I have to draw a foundation that I can play through the breaker, and then I have to draw a fortif attack that I can play. And I use the enhance. I draw an always cool
Mm-hmm.
and a focused gravity beam. So
Okay.
we kind of got there.
Yeah.
But because it's a 2-diff, I actually have to tap my foundation. So
Okay.
he full blocks it, breakers me, and I play always cool on a 4. I check a 3 with the breaker
Mm-hmm.
and tap my 1. I only have Mikasa ready.
Yeah.
I know I'm dead next turn. I go, well, if I check a 6 on this focused gravity beam, it's over. He doesn't have the low block.
Yeah.
And I didn't even count how many I had left.
You
I
just
was
slammed
always
it?
making that play. No, slammed it,
Yeah.
flipped the 6, and I said, holy fucking shit. Like, dude, I could not believe that happened. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like no way.
Yeah.
And and then like honestly, like there was obviously a second game after that. But
Yeah.
like that's what like stands out to me in top 4. And then against Ryan in top 8, I in game 3, this is where I Roman cancel blued him,
Okay.
and he checked 1-3. He only had like 4 resources, like 3 foundations and hawks. And he checks 1-3, he has to tap 2. He checks actually I guess he had to have I guess he checked a 3 and a 4. I don't think he checked
Yeah.
2 3s in that turn,
Okay.
but he ended up in a situation where he only had Hawks ready,
Mm.
and I Koenma tasked his equipment heist enhanced, so he couldn't get a starship to like scout the checks
Oh,
and make sure he
sure.
checks the
Yeah,
five.
yeah, yeah.
And I didn't realize how dead I was. He's like, I'm doing the math on just Hawks' feathers
Mhm.
killing me,
Mhm.
and he slams swordplay on a 6, and I'm like, oh no, like this is it,
Yeah.
my tournament's over.
Yeah.
And he checks the 4 with the only one ready resource, and that was my other like holy fucking
Oh, dude,
shit
that's
moment.
brutal. That's so
Yeah,
brutal. Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. And
Yeah.
then on my turn, like I'm not guaranteed to kill him because I have to go through the like my hand's not like explosive enough, and I have to draw my cards. And he plays his first block, and he still has Hawks in hands.
Yeah.
He plays his first block on my move, and he checks another 4 on a 5 on a 5
Oh
check.
man.
Yeah, and it's
Oh
just like,
no.
dude, holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's crazy. Oh
Yeah, like
wow.
and like game one, like I think my deck was like really well prepared for game one, and I think game two I made mistakes that like put me in a worse position.
Mhm.
And like, but these like insano variance moments stand out in my mind because I'm like, truly, it was like I've heard people jokingly say like something happens in a tournament, like you know you're gonna win the tournament after
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
and I'm just like, it just kept happening, and I was like, dude, holy
Yeah.
shit, like,
Why they
and
can't
like
keep letting him get away with this, you know?
I had I had the hometown buff. I had the Christmas hat on.
Hell
I had a
yeah,
Christmas
dude.
sweater on, like
Yeah.
Christmas mat. Like it was the spirit of
It was the
Christmas,
spirit
dude.
of
Like I
Christmas. Yeah, like it's like because me and Wub were joking about the birthday buff because we're both born around, or on Christmas, right? And we're like, man, if
Mhm.
they're lucky we didn't go to Buffalo because we might have just canceled each other out and you would have won anyways because you had the true spirit of Christmas, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you had Santa Claus carrying you the whole way, man.
yeah.
That's awesome. Like, yeah, you faced a
It
whole
was
gamut of players too. Like, you played against, Jacob Hyatt again, Paul Butler, Jacob Johnson, Cole
mhm.
Hyatt. They're no, they're all traveled, really seasoned, well vets, and you've 2-0'd a lot of them.
Yeah,
Like because you've just done the work and you've put the time in, and like, and you're just like, I'm here, dude. I'm here to take this down and get my day 2 invite, so you don't have to go through day 1 now, which is
yeah.
awesome. Which is
I get to hang
you
out
get to
and
hang
just like
out
sit
and
with
watch
it.
the rest of us day oneers sweat it out. But
Yeah,
every time someone makes it to day 2, I go, hey man, thanks for making day 1 easier. Like, make it's still going to be really tough, but it's just like, hey man, I don't have to go through you now. Oh, this is so good. Like when River got their day 2 points, I was like, hey River, thanks dude. I
yeah.
appreciate you for getting day 2 now. So it was crazy. It was neat watching how, like, I didn't think the tournament was going to hit over 40 players just because it was a week before Christmas. It's northeastern, United States. It's cold. It
Yes,
snows.
yeah. The snow. Yeah,
Like, I was surprised we hit that many players, and it was really cool. And it's a real testament to Sean running events up there. The game itself, we all love playing the game, and how much people are just hyped to play with these new Guilty Gear cards, a little or as many as you put in your deck or whatnot, So, um, cool. So you win. You are the last regional champion of the year, and we have Worlds to look forward to. But before we look forward to Worlds, um, any thoughts? Like any overperformer, any underperformer, any changes from the deck? Obviously, this is pre talking about Jan bans and February bans if there are any. What stands out off your mind of what could be changed to make the deck better?
so honestly, I think I might want more tension moves because I
Okay.
really, really liked having the Roman cancel
Yeah.
token and just the free momentum from
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Um, tray size and like I might trim tray size and lethal running to 1, and then like play 1x of some other like niche stuff where it's like maybe I want 1 timely counterattack.
Mhm.
Um, but it this is basically to say that I think this deck has so many options that I wouldn't think it's crazy to play like an 80 card Mikasa list and you
Okay.
just play like all the good ones.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
dude, there's so many like Battle Order release is not in this deck, and that
Yeah.
card is
Yeah. That
crazy.
card's nuts.
Like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's like I think at its core, the deck is has like a very strong attack lineup with Anchor Toss, Grab Beam, Dual Needle, and then I would say play Dust Attack.
Yeah.
And so you got a lot of like you got a lot of like foundation, not the mechanic, but like
Hmm.
the word of the deck built for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think really it's just like making micro hedges because when we're playing against such good players,
Hmm.
and the matchups get closer and closer in their percentages, I think um, I think one ofs makes such a big deal in like getting you those extra percentage points to like win the game.
Hmm.
And so maybe exploring that more with her would be
Okay.
something I'd want to try. Um,
Now, one other question before we move into another thing. Before we move on to any more changes with that, I guess it's kind of the same vein. Any weapon foundations? Noticed that really all your weapon cards are just in attacks. You don't have any in your foundation base. Was there any time, or do you think in the future you would slot in any weapon foundations to get like the +3 and 1 speed or whatnot, like because there's that one that reveals for that, or at all, like any type, or are you fine with not having to hold a foundation because you just rather build it and pop it for 2?
um, there was a point where I was playing the 1-3-1
Mm-hmm.
that gives like a speed. But I think largely I didn't miss a foundation doing that. Usually
Okay.
I do just want to be building them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there was definitely times where I whiffed on having a weapon in hand.
Okay.
So um, I'd really have to think like maybe some of my two diffs become the Survey Core Elite
Yeah.
to give that extra speed and damage.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not my mind didn't really go to that as like
Okay.
some of the issues with the deck when I
Sure.
was playing.
Sure. 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 Okay. All right. So, as a day tour, you get to sit back, relax, and not relax that much because you still have to test for day 2 and day 3. What are your thoughts on the build up to Worlds, and how do you think it's going to pan out?
So, I can tell you that I haven't like. There's a swath of cards that I still need to like actually play with and think about, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the all the champ cards that I ignored for Buffalo because like we couldn't play with them.
Yeah, true.
Um,
Yeah.
the KOF cards like that one, they came out a week ago, like cut me some slack type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then there's so many of the Guilty Gear cards that I still have yet to really play with
Mm-hmm.
that I'm like very interested in. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really exploring those new cards and then exploring them alongside some of the classics in the game that we already
Yeah.
like.
True.
Like, how does it match into Devil Jin, Rodan,
Mm-hmm.
Deku, Mikasa, the backup decks, like. But at its core, I'm basically just going to be playing games of UniVersus with decks that I want to play with,
Yeah.
and seeing what works.
See what it works? Hell yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we end the episode of Take 10, as always, any shout outs?
Oh yeah, yeah. So absolutely shouting out the MGLA, even the people that have like left the team
Mm-hmm.
and people that aren't on the team. Like I have so many friends thanks to the MGLA and just like in the community.
Yeah.
It really, even if I didn't win the event, like this event was fantastic. Like just so much positive energy from everybody.
Hell yeah.
Like you said earlier, it's a family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have to give specific shout outs to two of my locals, Shaw and Mario.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing UniVersus. Like me and Shaw have been playing UniVersus since My Hero 1.
Okay.
Mario's been playing for I think like a year at this point.
Okay.
And they're always down to play games. They're always bringing some fucking heaters with Devil Jin and Mikasa. And I'm just like really testing my mettle against them. It's great.
Yeah.
And then I want to do a bit specifically. I'm here to tell you, Chris Smith, that you absolutely cannot do a take 10 with Justin Martin or Corey Nelson. Okay?
Okay.
Because I got on here first. You can't do it
Okay.
with them. You
Okay.
gotta make sure
I
just
got
never
you.
do
I got you. Okay. I got you.
that. I can't wait for them to hear that. I'm like, oh my god.
I got you. I got you. They're gonna have to like win worlds or something, man.
Yes, yeah. They
That's
have to
the I
go
think
all the way.
that's the stipulation. They're gonna have to win worlds to get on. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, as we end, I want to say thanks for coming on, Constantine. I appreciate you taking the time on your holiday season to come on and yap some universes with me. I don't really
Oh,
do
dude.
take tens that often. I've kind of tried to give them a little bit of a break since I was doing them weekly. So I'm going to try to do special ones now. I think that's more of the line I kind of want to do, keep it special. So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your win, man. It was so cool to watch
Thank
you
you.
win.
Thank you.
Because I know you've been grinding and playing your heart out like every time there's a regional, and you're so involved in the community, and it's really cool to watch the Pringles man deliver the chips, man. To deliver the chip. I was trying to find a chip euphemism, and it didn't really flow
Yeah,
very
that's
well,
good.
but
No, no,
I don't
that's
know.
good. I like that one.
So or it can't. I mean, technically, once you pop, you can't stop. So now it's just going to be worlds,
Exactly.
right? It's worlds. You're winning
Yep.
worlds now. So,
Yep.
again,
Pringles Man
thank
one two
you.
three world champion.
Oh hell yeah! Like, can you imagine a Pringles can asset? That'd be amazing. It'd be
That'd be
amazing,
so
you
good.
know? Or you'd be a Pringles. I mean, like, technically, you could just do your face on a Pringles can as your character card.
I could,
That'd be
yeah.
so
Just like
sick.
anthropomorphic.
All right, as
That's
we
my
end,
asset.
again, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit those bells for notifications. Stay tuned for more videos coming in, going up to Worlds. Again, thanks, Constantine, and then we're going to sign off. Take care, everybody. See yas.
Bye bye.